Hello, welcome to this quick demo for the Stage Manager module, which will help us in doing the capture conversation. To begin with, let me just walk you through the design, then I'll show you this demo on the screen. So about the design, I'm going to attach this image again with this particular demo and send it to you via email. Just to walk you through what is happening in the Stage Manager, we are basically going to receive the user message, that is somebody's chat response or a chat message. What the Stage Manager does is that it's going to snoop that message and check for a trigger match. And the trigger matching scheme in my demo is just a hash map that I have put in, but in the original program it's going to be the matching mechanism that is there inbuilt with the VPF. So from the trigger match, in case if we notice that there is a trigger match, we are going to generate a bunch of metadata information related to that particular trigger match. The most important information would be the scene, and each trigger can be then mapped to a scene. A scene is the only metadata information that will be accumulated for every trigger. It would include a date timestamp, a scene name, a scene trigger, and a scene ID. Now, each of these scenes, just to give us a higher abstraction, would belong to a plot. And a plot again would have a plot name, a plot ID, and the list of scenes that a plot would have, that the plot contains. Imagine this to be a real life stage show scenario wherein we have a big play going on, and then there are these plots, and in middle of these plots we have a bunch of scenes coupled together which form these plots. So exactly like that. Then we have a decoupled metadata information, which is marker. Now markers are, I have deliberately made them as generic data types because probably upon expansion or for future work, it would be helpful to use markers for getting a whole bunch of other information which is not specifically tied to a scene or a plot. So a marker is a generic type. Again, it has a marker ID, a marker type, which as of now could be a scene or a plot, or in future extensions could indicate a pause in communication or a delay or somebody who's giving incognizable responses or something like that. So that can help us mark areas in the script when a particular event occurs. And again, it has a marker message and a marker time. Now all of these markers are what we are going to get in the timeline. So if we sort these markers by their timestamps, that should give us a list known as, which we are calling as the timeline. So to begin with, just imagine a scenario. We have a user message. We pass this user message and check for a trigger. In case there is a trigger match, then we will create a corresponding scene for that particular trigger. Now, if there is a plot already existing for that particular scene, then we would not create a plot. Otherwise, we will have to go and create a plot as well. And creating the scene and the plot, we are going to create markers and insert them into the timeline. And that is going to be the main workflow of how the stage manager would function. Once this is done, if there is a trigger match or if there is not a trigger match, in any case, we are going to insert the user's message into the database so that we can create a transcript. And I believe this module has already been worked on. So whatever user message we are passing, we are going to trigger match it and insert it into the database. And of course, record metadata information in this form. Now to move on to the demo, I I'm hosting a demo on my local host. What is happening over here is that there's a servlet running in the background, which is going to receive the message that we are going to send over here. And based on the message, I have just put up some dummy responses. In the real program, it would have to be the particular responses that a script generates for every message. So let me just expand this a little so that it's clearer and in one line. So imagine these to be the part of a script. We have, let's say if we say hello, he would say hey, and if we ask him what is your age, then the response would be I'm 21 years old and something like that. So to begin with, if I'm hosting it on my local host, I just put in let's say a message called hi, and I press send. See this is area as the conversation timeline. It shows us that a plot has been created uh, for the called the introduction plot, and in that introduction plot we have created a scene which has the message hi. The response for our message hi was hi there, which is right here in the demo, in the dummy script, and so on. So let's say if we put in a message like what is your age, and send that. Now I have designed the stage map in such a way that hi and hello are introduction messages, and then there is what is your age, which is a personal details message and something like that. Now if you go back again and type hi, uh, we this it would show us that this particular scene which has now been created is actually a repeat scene. So that can give us information on the long run in a big transcript. If we print the conversation timeline for that particular transcript, it will give us details like how many times the question was being asked, and why, at what durations the question was being asked. So the whole idea of the stage manager is to generate these markers on the conversation timeline, which can help us get more information about what happened when in the conversation. So continuing with this, if let's say I was to type what is your name and send this message. Now, what is your name is typically an introduction message. So, and the introduction plot has already been created, so there's no new plot creation. Only thing is that we know that this particular scene has been a new scene has been added. So this, in a sense, tells us about how different plots are going to be created. And let us say if we have something like, let's say if we just exit and say goodbye to this person. Uh, yeah. So the next plot has created, and the new scene is added into this plot, which is basically just the message is just goodbye. This is the message that we sent, and the plot that we are in is the exit plot. So essentially what we are going to get at the end of doing an entire transcript conversation are these markers in the conversation or the conversation timeline, which is going to tell us at exactly what instant which what event occurred in the transcript. We can definitely add a more graphical timeline which shows us events occurring, like we have timeline views in our calendars, or other things. And I'm going to attach one of the links with for a JavaScript widget which does that for us, and it takes data into an XML form. uh, but as of now, all of this is running on a Java-based servlet, and my next step would be to actually put it into PHP. Since I can demo the design to you, and of course take in all the feedback and design changes or suggestions that you have to improve the Stage Manager module. And I'm going to attach a small report describing this work, as well as my this diagram that I showed. And thank you for watching.